All right, today we're cracking open the filmmaker's playbook. We're going to explore the hidden language of movies. All the little tricks and techniques directors use to make you feel things, sometimes without you even noticing what's happening.
So here's a question for you. How do movies actually speak? I mean, it's not just the dialogue, right? Films have this whole visual language with their own set of words and grammar, all designed to tell a story, pull at your heartstrings, and build entire worlds right in front of your eyes. So where does it all begin? Well, like any good story, it starts with a solid plan. Long before a camera even starts rolling, a blueprint gets made to turn an idea on a page into a real visual strategy. What's really cool is how similar the structure is to written language. You know how letters make up words and words make up sentences? Filmmaking works the exact same way. It's got these basic building blocks that all stack together to create the whole story. Let's break them down. The smallest, most fundamental piece is the shot. That's just one single unbroken recording from when the director yells action to when they yell cut. You can think of every single shot as one word in the language of film. Now you string a few of those words or shots together, and what do you get? You get a scene. It's a continuous moment that happens in one place at one time. So if a shot is a word, a scene is our sentence. It gives you a complete thought. And if you combine a bunch of related scenes, you create a sequence. This is basically the paragraph of the movie. Think of an entire car chase or a training montage. It's a bigger piece of the story that really pushes the plot forward.
Of course, none of this just happens by magic. It is all planned out to the smallest detail. It usually starts with a synopsis, just the basic idea. That gets blown up into a full script with all the dialogue and action. And then comes the really crucial part, the storyboard. It's literally like a comic book version of the movie that maps out every single shot.
Okay, so the plan is set. Now the camera becomes your pen. But it's not just sitting there. The way the camera itself moves is a massive part of how a movie talks to you. Let's take a look at what that actually means. Check this out. Every camera move is a deliberate choice to make you feel something. When the camera pans side to side, it's like it's saying, hey, look around. You're in this world with us. A tilt up can make a skyscraper feel absolutely huge, filling you with awe. A dolly in, where the camera physically moves closer, hooks you into a character's emotions and cranks up the tension. And that big, sweeping arc shot? Oh yeah, that just screams, this moment is important. It's all about guiding your feelings. Okay, so just like any language, this cinematic language has its own grammar, a bunch of unspoken rules that filmmakers follow to make sure the story makes sense and that you, the audience, never get confused. Probably the most important rule is the 180-degree rule. It's pretty simple, actually. Just imagine an invisible line running between two characters who are talking to each other. To keep the audience from getting confused about where everyone is standing, all the cameras have to stay on one side of that line. And this shows you exactly why it's so important. So in the wide shot, character A is on the left looking right, and character B is on the right looking left. Makes sense. If you cut to a close-up and B is still looking left, your brain totally accepts it. But what happens if you cross that invisible line for the next shot? Whoa! Suddenly character A is also looking left. It feels wrong. It's like they instantly switched places. It completely pulls you out of the movie. And here's another quick one, the 30-degree rule. This basically says that if you're going to cut from one shot of a person to another shot of that same person, you need to move the camera at least 30 degrees. If you don't, it doesn't look like a new shot. It just looks like a weird, glitchy jump in the film, like a mistake. All right, once all the filming is done, we get to the final and maybe the most magical part of the whole process, editing. This is where all those individual words and sentences are put together to create the real meaning of the story. Yeah, it's so much more than just snipping out the bad takes. Editing is where the movie finds its rhythm, its pace, its emotional punch. It's a purely creative act of putting one image next to another. And to really get the power of editing, you have to know about this incredible discovery from way back in the early days of film. It's called the Kuleshov effect. So this Soviet filmmaker, Lev Kuleshov, he took one single shot of an actor with a totally blank, neutral expression. First, he showed that face to an audience right after showing them a picture of a bowl of hot soup. And what did they say? They raved about the actor's subtle portrayal of hunger. Then, Kuleshov took that exact same shot of the actor's face, no change at all, and showed it after a shot of a child in a coffin. This time, the audience was totally moved by the actor's performance of deep, soul-crushing sadness. And finally, for a third time, he used that same neutral face, but this time paired it with a shot of a child happily playing. And the audience, they saw pure joy and warmth in his eyes. The actor's face never, ever changed. Only the context did. So here's the mind-blowing takeaway. A shot doesn't really have any meaning on its own. The meaning is created inside our heads, based entirely on what shot comes right after it. That right there is the awesome power of editing. It's all about context. So, we've gone over the building blocks, the camera moves, the grammar, but here's the real secret. The truly great filmmakers, they know these rules inside and out, but they also know exactly when to break them. So the next time you're watching a movie and a shot feels weird or disorienting, ask yourself, was that a mistake? Or is the director breaking a rule on purpose, playing with the language of film to make you feel something unforgettable?